like the girl who goes, I can't drive, I'm a girl. Yes, right. That's wifey.
I'm actually a good driver. Actually.
Second she crashes, it wasn't my fault, the tree just grew.
Remember the most racist date we've ever been on? So we were in Seoul, South Korea. This South Korean girl got mad that we kept saying South Korea. When Andrew said South Korea once, well, you don't remember that it's Korea, are you stupid? Andrew looks at me, I look at him, and I just knew he was gonna be super racist to Asians for the rest of the day.
They got super offended when we pretended to not know the difference between Japan, Korea, Vietnam, China.
Indonesia.
We just pretended it was all one big China.
Let's cut the bullshit.
We're in China. You know, like...
Koreans don't even understand Chinese.
I'm like, are you dumb? You don't understand your own fucking language?
Boom, monkeys. Welcome back to the Crypto Boogie channel. I am live here with Tacos and Kimchi episode 42 and my amigo, the Twinksters. ¿Qué pasó, amigo?
You know, actually, I had some like kimchi and gochujang last night. We were talking a little earlier on a crispy chicken sandwich. Was pretty good.
Twinkie. Oh, the chat's probably gonna kill me. Yes, I like Taco Bell, even though I'm freaking Mexican, bro. So I had Taco Bell today, man. Today was my first cheat day, dude. So that's why you see my voice or you hear my voice in and out a little bit because I'm not used to eating like that. So speaking of fucking David, yo, what's up, homies? I need racist memes now. You know what? I got something better. Twinkie, I'm going to bring you down real fast. Hopefully I don't get fired for this. Here we go. This is going to be fun. When I saw that one, like, dude, that was gonna get me in trouble.
Hey, you know, as somebody who speaks Chinese, that's not at all what they're singing about.
Ay, señor. Oh my gosh, bro. Hope you guys like that fucking that educational video that you should show to all your children. Yes, you should show it to all your children. Absolutely, 110%.
Looks like we got a lot of fans rolling through tonight.
Yeah, we got 14 people here. Shout out to the first moon ganger in the chat, man. Post Jiu-Jitsu. Hey, what's going on, Fast Abdul, man? We got motherfucking Hex Glenn. We got our amigo here, motherfucking Crypto Con. Shout out to you, bro.
Hey, what's going on, Con?
Dan 404, fucking W for Twinkie, man. You got a fan right there, Twinksters. Diamond and Fire from motherfucking Damien. Manifest the green candles. I concur with you, man. What else we got here, man? We got my amigo here, Ryan D. Let's talk guns and fragrances. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, Ryan D, because I want to show you some of the guns that I'm looking at. Of course, man, with everything that's going on with Glock, of course, I'm saying.
You got to tell them about that new toy we were talking about offline earlier, too.
Oh, the Cobalt Kinetics? Yeah, I definitely got to show you about that shit, man. That dude, yes. A good idea. Twinkie.
That's a good one to talk about.
Yeah. And then, hey, dude, we were just talking about you, Alex. We were having a conversation about you, bro. Talk about freaking
positive things. We're talking about security, brother.
Yeah, man. Neo 0X is going on, man. What else we got here, man? Hex C. What's up, guys? What's going, man? And we got freaking Tegan. Hey, what's going on, dude? Glad to have you here, bro. Moon math on my stacks. I concur, man.
Racks on racks, stacks on stacks. We got a comment there from like Hexus at like 9:30, 8:30 ish, 7:30.
7:30 at Hexus. Let's see. I almost have it.
Yeah. I don't know what time zone stamp you're getting.
Hexus.
Yeah. So like triads and cartel. I was actually talking with Boogie about triads today. Let's see. I don't want to say too much. a small town nearby that I had a very positive opinion of recently had something like 5 massage parlors in like the same 3-mile radius, all owned by the same people, just got smacked down for sex slavery, sex trafficking.
Yeah.
And I was like
dude.
telling Boogie, I'm like, man, I remember that town like over the years, and like it's just a small town and kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like that kind of blew my mind.
You gotta be careful of that shit, man, because
Crazy place out there.
Yeah, because dude, a lot of those places, man, if you really think about it, they got a lot of illegal immigrants that they have there as slaves, bro.
Yeah. And so it's like certainly right. Like so the official story too was some connections back to New York. So I figured it was like some sort of triad op, like from New York and like dragging them kind of up to a more semi-rural area. Yeah, crazy. Crazy.
No, we are outstanding citizens.
I mean,
we are good, outstanding citizens.
Not.
Yes, I am. I'm a good person.
Yeah, you're a better person than I am. I'll say that. Anyway, but I like drugs, kids. Anyway.
All right, man. Before we fuck it, let's go to the memes and then we can go to some some gun data, bro, because that's always fucking cool, man. Let's go on first fucking meme, man, since we're being super duper freaking super duper
casual Saturday here.
Yeah. Since we're being super duper, what's the term, bro? What is the term that
loose?
We're talking about multiple cultures today.
Oh yeah. We got a lot of sprawl, and we are. What is it like? You're not racist. You're ethnically biased. No, that's more lawyer speak. You're not racist. You're a misanthrope. Yeah, you just hate people.
Yeah, look at this one. Motherfucker wanted to see how bad a whip hurt. And that's not even a whip, man. It's a freaking belt, dude. The fury of all Mexican children, what we got when we were kids, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Didn't you get whacked up by like the chancla?
The chancla, yeah, bro.
The chancla, dude, okay, yeah.
But I got the belt all the freaking time, homie.
I got paddled.
I know what you talk about.
I got paddled, man.
You got what do Koreans do, Twinkie? Mexicans fucking beat the fuck out of you with a belt.
Yeah. I got paddled as a kid sometimes.
Really? Parents? I've never heard of parents. My teachers used to paddle us, bro, when I was growing up. Was that?
Right, wrong, indifferent. It is what it is, man. But yeah.
Paddle. Wow. Oh, all right. Here we go.
Yeah, that shit had no flex.
Dude, that's got to be on another level, bro, of pain, bro. I haven't felt that since I've been a kid, Twinkie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he got the pain of 400 years and ancestral memory all kicked in.
Yeah,
that looked rough. Quick detour.
Yeah,
years ago, I was at a friend's bachelor party, and we had strippers, as typical for it, and it was a grand old time. But strippers took who wants to get spanked by the stripper? One of my friends. The stripper takes off his belt and, okay, playful at first. She winds up and goes to swing and hit him in the ass with the belt, but kind of misses. And it goes straight up between his legs, curls around, full on belt tip whip to the sack. I think we might have lost Boogie here for a minute, but
no,
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. And just watching the whole thing unfold was mind blowing.
Oh, dude. And it hit him exactly where? What part, Boogie?
Dead smack in the sack, belt edge right in the sack.
No, dude.
Crumpled, we're all laughing because it was funny to us.
Dude, that is the worst pain in the world, bro, getting hit there, especially with something like a fucking belt, dude.
Yeah. And we had a buddy who passed out taking a dump in the bathroom. And we got the strippers to give him a lap dance.
Why he was
dumping, passed out, dumping in the bathroom. Yeah, it's a strange world out there. Hey, if you got people got to make money, I guess people got to eat.
What year was this, Vicky?
I don't want to give away much more than that.
There's a strip club. DCC was talking about it one time, man. He was making fun of it. Chicas Bonitas is Tortaville, bro. I heard they got raided by ICE, dog.
Was that the one? Like,
Protect the innocent.
yeah. Some of us were out and about in Vegas, and I was asked to try to find a cab to get us from point A to point B. And I think it might have been that place. And all the drivers said, no, we're not going.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was Chicas Bonitas?
I think it was.
Yeah, dude. I mean, fuck that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anyway, we're all over the place tonight.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. All right, let's go. Let's go back to the fucking memes here, man. Let me take this off. Present, share screen, and here we go. For you guys that understand el español, el detrás paga. For you guys that understand.
Tú come y pide todo lo que quieras. Total, el de atrás paga.
Ok. Pero atrás no hay nadie.
The one in the back pays, bro. She goes, who's the one in the back? Well, in other news, bro. For you monkeys, we were last time we were talking about fucking firearms, man. This is one of the guns that I was talking about, and it's actually at a pretty decent price, man. Scar 17S, bro. For you guys still trying to collect the Scar, and it's currently at $31.99 and in stock, man. Well, hopefully it's in stock if you guys click this link right here, man. But yeah, and it's got the woodland camouflage pattern. I'm assuming this is some type of fucking dip, that the hydro dip they put it in. That's why it looks the way it does. Beautiful rifle, man. Great fucking value, bro. Now, I was talking to Twinksters about a certain piece of kit. Let me bring that up for you cats. As you guys know, let me make sure I sign out of my freaking. Let me make sure I sign out of this, Twinkie, before I show these.
Yeah. Before you dox yourself.
Yeah, before I dox myself. Let me sign out of this shit, bro. Here we go. You know what? I'll just go to Cobalt Kinetics website. I'll just do that because for some odd reason it doesn't let me log out of that place. All right, cool.
Awkward. So yeah, Boogie and I were talking earlier about marksmanship and like talking about archery, whether or not newer shooters or intermediate or advanced shooters show different kinds of, let's say, aiming challenges. And Boogie was telling me he got himself a new piece of kit, and so yeah, Boogie, looks like you got it up on screen. Tell us a little more about what you picked up and what it does and the like.
Well, I own this one. I own the Cobalt Kinetic Scrambler. Let me see if you guys can see it. Bring up the screen, and it is there it is, the Cobalt Kinetic Scrambler, bro. And this is it right here, man. Now, this is a 3D printed fucking suppressor. Now, I did get the Inconel one, which is made of fucking like heavier metals than that of fucking aircraft aluminum. And the thing about this sucker is that the way they printed it was via 3D. It wasn't CNC, man. So the way they designed the baffles inside, man, that is a ninja quiet suppressor, monkeys. Now, for the most part, I'm a direct thread guy, bro. A lot of people like to be fancy and shit like that, man. So they like the quick detach option. I like to directly thread my fucking suppressors onto my weapons, bro. I just put a little bit of Loctite on there, man. And if the fucking suppressor can sit on there, I tighten up with my hands. That's good enough, bro. This is a hell of a suppressor. It is lightweight. But for you cats that want to get fancy, oh, by the way, this is the Inconel model. And this is the one that I own. It's a little bit heavier than your aircraft aluminum one, but it is more rated for higher rates of fire, so you can shoot more out of it and it can last longer because it is it's an Inconel metal, and it's a mixture of multiple types of metal and shit like that. It is a very, very, very quiet suppressor. So far, it's my favorite suppressor. Now, there is also, if you guys want to get fancy, there's also the quick detach one. This one is made of titanium, and you can freaking screw it on a suppressor mount, and you can take it off whenever you want. The other one that I have is one that you can just directly mount on there with some motherfucking Loctite and shit like that, bro. This is a hell of a suppressor, man. Highly recommended for you cats, man. Now, why am I shilling suppressors. Because come January 1st, what's going to end up happening is no more tax stamps. You're not going to have to pay $200 for a tax stamp when you buy a suppressor with the ATF. Well, when you buy it, then you submit your paperwork to the ATF, man. You're not going to have to pay that $200 fee. And everybody's like, dude, it's only $200. What does it matter? Well, yeah, I concur with you. What does it matter? But on January 1st, a lot of these suppressors are going to go on back order because everybody's going to be ordering them. Unlike gun shops, or not gun shops, gun manufacturers that have to make the guns from scratch, that have big facilities, suppressor companies don't have the same amount of resources. So they take longer to make the suppressors. So they could go on back order for a long fucking time, bro. So food for thought. That's probably the best suppressor I have used, man. And I did order the fucking the direct thread one as well. If you monkeys look here on my fucking VHS Elion from Springfield, that bullpup rifle right there, I got that fucking Cobalt Kinetic suppressor. I wish I could grab it and show it to you cats, but then they would fucking probably nuke my channel again. You know what I'm saying? So
Boogie, but I thought YouTube was okay with airsoft guns.
Yeah, I know. I thought they were. I don't want to get my channel nuked again, Twinkie.
It's all good. Boogie, why would I want a quick detach one versus a direct mount one?
Well, quick detach fee for the poor boys, man. If you guys want to put it on multiple rifles, you have that option. But I really don't see the need of taking a suppressor off, man, of a rifle, especially of a rifle short like the one I have here, this bullpup. Why would you want to take the suppressor off, man? Just zero the suppressor on, and you're good to go. Unless you're trying to intimidate your enemy by being louder with your weapon, I don't really see the need for it. Now, another key feature of the suppressor as well is that it's flow-through technology. For you cats that don't know, that have never fired a rifle, when you shoot a fucking like an M4 or an AR-15, bro, with a suppressor, regular suppressor, dude, the gas blowback you get on your eyes, man, after the second or third mag, man, your eyes are watering, bro, and it stings the fuck out of your eyes. And I can only imagine it's not good for your health, bro. You know what I'm saying? All that carbon building up in your face. Flow-through suppressor technology, it pushes the gases forward outside of the suppressor. And I'm assuming the way they printed it, because it's 3D, not CNC, they probably got some pretty unique baffles in there. Hence why probably it sounds so ninja quiet, bro. Dude, when I was at the range, it sounded like a fucking staple gun, Twinkie.
Cool.
You know that is ninja quiet, bro. You know what I'm saying? I like that. So,
yeah. So people are talking about the price of that suppressor in the chat. I said, I guess the other option is get yourself an oil filter. Not legal advice, firearms advice, whatever. All rules, regs, laws apply. Make sure
don't do what Twinkie said. Don't do it. ATF will kick down your door, dude.
Yep. Currently you gotta adhere to all the NFA stuff, and I still think tax stamp for that. But if you're let's say financially challenged for that, you might want to look into that solution.
Exactly. Now, in other news, let me see if I can go on to Gunbroker, man. Now, for you cats that know, Twinkie, you did know that Glock will be discontinuing a good portion of their weapons, right?
I saw that, and I wonder how much of that is for California compliance and the whole switches thing.
I want to apologize, and I'm going to make a public apology for this, man. Last time I was up, I said that Glock were being a bunch of pussies, bro, for taking these off, not having the balls to stand up to California. But then Mr. Guns and Gear, he really broke it down, man, and he gave a good example, and he said, look, dude, Remington almost went bankrupt from all the lawsuits they got from fucking other states that are suing them. So Glock's getting ahead of the curve so they don't get sued, or else they're going to go bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? So that made a lot of sense. Now, should they be permitted to sue you, bro? It's stupid. It's like you suing Ford or you suing a Chevrolet because a vehicle ran you off the road or a vehicle struck you and it's a Ford or a Chevrolet. The courts
it was a modified Chevy or I'm with you. I think the other thing too is I appreciate from a customer perspective that they had multiple generations of things and a lot of cross compatibility. But how old is the Glock design at this point in time? Decades, right?
I think it got started in 1989, bro. That's when they first. I think that's when they came up with the first blueprint of the Glock in 1989. Gen 1.
Right, and I know they had multiple generations. My point here is, I wonder to what extent could they make a major leap forward if they said, "Hey, we figured things out. We think we can do better, but we need to abandon aspects of all these generations of cross parts compatibility."
Yeah,
we got to start over. We got a better rocket ship, but we got to kind of like throw it all out.
Yeah, exactly, Twinkie.
Right.
You know
So
what
like
I'm
from a
saying?
manufacturing perspective, that makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah. So you get what I'm saying, Twinksters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay. So that's why Glock is doing what they're doing, man, to get ahead of the curve so they don't end up getting sued into bankruptcy. Now, the courts are supposed to stop this, the federal courts, but government moves slow, bro. And because government moves slow, Remington almost went bankrupt. And Remington owns multiple fucking firearms companies, including, I think, Bushmaster even, you know, if Bushmaster even exists today. But, and that's what Glock's trying to prevent. You know what I'm saying? So I want to publicly apologize for that, man, because, dude, yeah, that makes sense, bro. They weren't being pussies about that. We wouldn't have any more Glocks, Twinkie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is my favorite Glock right here. This is a Glock 19X. This is the same thing as a. Can you see this, Twinkie?
Yeah. Good.
I like the colors. I'm a coyote
Yeah.
brown type of guy, man. This is the option with the threaded barrel, 849 Glock 19X. Now, what you're like, well, what's the difference between this and a Glock 19? Well, the Glock 19 is a shorter fucking frame and a shorter slide. The 19X is the exact same thing as the Glock Model 45. And that's a longer 17 frame, which is the full-size pistol, with a shorter slide. You know what I'm saying? Now, the MOS, of course, stands for this portion in the back here so you can mount optics and things of that nature, bro. Because a lot of you cats will get on there, you'll buy a Glock 19X and without the MOS, and then you can't put a fucking optic on there. This permits you to put an optic on there like you see here. Now, of course, I would like to get it with the threaded barrel because, I mean, I already got fucking this weapon. But this one's my favorite, and the Glock Model 45, which they're both basically the same, bro.
So I wonder how that's going to work out as you know, as far as stuff being sold, and of course, you know, with them phasing out some elements of a bunch of their lineup. If you don't, let's say you have a Glock, Boogie, or you're just about to buy a Glock and maybe inventory is limited where you are, so you got some choices to make. Let's say you wind up with a slide that doesn't have an optics cut. I know there's a few different, you got
to send it out to go get cut.
Send it out. And I would think there's probably aftermarket solutions, right? Like companies who already probably have some inventory and already modded them or whatever else.
Yeah. I think Lone Wolf Distributors, man, they make their own slides. There's a lot of companies that already make slides that are pre-cut. That way you don't have to like send in your slide and shit like that. But
look at the price.
Yeah.
Right. Some of those, when I was looking at for different platforms, it's like, you know, for $100 more, you could have a wholly separate firearm. I would probably just spend the extra 100 and get an extra firearm.
Well, it depends which model you want, Twinkie, of course. I'm saying, for example, now people are like, well, why do you have to go with the Glock? Well, think about shit hit the fan situation, Twinkie. What is the most common fucking handgun?
Common caliber
in America,
right? And probably most common pistol.
It's a Glock in America, at least. In the world, I think it's CZ. I think the CZ 75B is the most common in the world. But in America, the most common fucking magazines you're gonna find are gonna be fucking Glock 19, Glock 17 mags. You know what I'm saying? Everybody runs those. So that's why I would say, dude, they even make sub guns, like B&T. They even make sub guns, bro, that accept Glock magazines because that's how common the fucking weapons are. You know what I'm saying?
I think the Ruger, was it the PC9? I think that's Glock mag compatible, and certainly there are plenty like AR9 platforms that are on Glock mags.
Yeah, exactly. I had some people here asking some questions about fucking some weapons here. Somebody asked for a 365. Who is that? What we got here, man? Somebody was asking about 365. The suppressor, 180K in hex on the Chingasta. Oh, here it is. YN Crypto, bro. What y'all think about the 365? That's my everyday carry. It's good to go, man. 365 will do the job, man. Just stay away from the 320, bro. Twinkie, you saw that video that I recently sent you, right?
Yeah. I've seen that one before. We'll see if SIG survives, right? So, okay. On one hand, I've got like two opinions on this. Full disclosure, I've owned a P320 for years. It's never magically gone off in my experience. So but like SIG as a company, going back to the Glock side of things, I wonder how they're going to go. Like, they've been dealing with a lot on that front, right, wrong, and different. I think there are some very valid criticisms of the P320. On the other hand, arguably, it's the most tested firearm in generations. So what's the deal? Really? I would argue it is, right? Just like, what would I put ahead of it? M&P, Glock, just by ages.
Yeah.
But like P320, it's been through FBI, state police, a bunch of other things, and
Yeah, a lot of agencies carry
they
the
can't
320.
replicate a number of these alleged discharges. I know early on they adjusted the mass of the trigger for a drop from above a certain height at a certain angle. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they survive.
Well,
Also,
one of
too, the other one too is, in my experience, as somebody who came over from the M&P platform, it was a substantially lighter trigger. So I wonder, holster issues, finger issues.
What was the substantially lighter trigger? The 365, the
The
320.
320, yeah.
Well, look, I'll tell you this, man. I like to fucking appendix carry, bro. I'm a big appendix carry guy, bro. I like carrying right in front of my belly, bro. I'm in pretty decent shape, I would think. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I like to carry, bro. I'd be damned if I put a 320, bro, appendix carry. I don't want to risk it, Twinkie. I don't want to risk it. You know what I'm saying? It could be that you're right, and it could be that we can't replicate this, and this may be fucking situations that people are only bringing up because of the news that it's getting, and it's happened to other weapons as well. I don't think it really has, but it could be that. You know what I'm saying? Twinkie? But
I'm old enough to remember when the Glock was really starting to make inroads with PDs, hearing it in the news pretty routinely.
Mm-hmm.
Glock finger, right? But I think that was a major training issue, habit issue for a lot of people.
That's a Gen X boomer problem, Twinkie.
So this one, I'm on the fence about. We'll see how it plays out. But I wonder if SIG, by way of litigation and ongoing, marketing, public defense, whatever else, is going to survive if they don't come up with a revised plan, strategy, or something.
Look, man. Look, man. SIG, they still have the SIG 226 out there, bro. I understand I understand, bro. It's got a lot of parts in it, bro. But that's probably the most reliable handgun I have ever seen, Twinkie, the 226, next to the HK USB, bro. That is probably the most reliable I've ever seen. It's an expensive platform. I get it. But if it's not broken, why fix it? I don't know why they kept fucking pushing a new weapon. I guess for the MHS trials, bro, for the military.
I think so. I fired its predecessor. A buddy of mine has it. I've got some amount of trigger time on it. The 2022, which was, I believe, polymer, but DASA on it. Yeah. And that shot real nice. And then it was like, 320 came pretty quickly behind it, used like what they learned, but I don't think it was, final stage, final incarnation. Will Stevenson, good to see you, man. Appreciate the support. Always appreciate the support, man.
What's popping, man?
He's got, I think, the most on the nose comment for the whole topic, which is SIG has an unfixable reputation problem. I agree. Like the way they're handling this, not good.
But look, man, it's a lot like watching boxing sometimes, Twinkie. What casual fans of boxing will do, they'll look at the whole 12 rounds, and let's say opponent A has been beating the shit out of opponent B, bro, for about 9, 10 rounds, 11 rounds, kicking his fucking ass. Then the 12th round, bro, opponent B gets a fucking good strike in, stuns his opponent, and everybody forgets everything that the first opponent did from the first 11 rounds. Let's look back in 2011, bro. SIG was always pushing the fucking boundary, bro, when it came to ATF regulations, bro. They were always pushing the boundary, bro, to try to get something right there on the cusp, bro, of legal and not legal. They were always pushing the boundary of ATF to try to get shit legal. You know what I'm saying? I remember they had their MPX series, 9mm, and they had they had a huge baffle on it. And they said, well, this is just a giant muzzle brake, but if you ordered the sleeve, you just put it over there and boom, you got a suppressor. You know what I'm saying? They were always pushing the fucking boundaries, man. And I cannot forget SIG for that, bro. I cannot forget what they did in the first 11 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For this one fumble that they're doing on the 12th round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
SIG has always been on the forefront, bro. Always. And they're probably more pro Second Amendment, bro, than Daniel Defense, in my opinion, dude.
Yep. Well, we'll see how it plays out, man. They find themselves in an interesting situation, but I think it's
I hope they don't go bankrupt. I'm not going to forget what they did for the first 11 rounds.
No, I don't want them to go bankrupt, right? Like they should get well, I think they've had a shot at like better marketing and PR. But anyway, I know we could have a lot of talk on this topic. Hey, at some point in time, we should probably talk about like green candles, red candles, and like pretty colors and like drawing with crayons.
Yeah, well, that was just a really interesting conversation. So going back to what we're talking about to finish up this topic on firearms, yeah, my favorite Glocks are Glock Model 19X, the MOS model, and also the Glock Model 45 MOS. No, not 45 caliber. It's a 9mm as well, man. Glock 19 slide, Glock 17 frame, bro. That is my favorite. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
In second place, I would probably go to the Glock 19. You know what I'm saying? That's a good second favorite. Micro compacts are cool, bro. It's just I need to have my magazine capacity, Twinkie. I've been in situations before, bro, where I was getting into it with some dude, bro, and he was running a Glock 23 with 15 rounds, and I was running a Springfield XDS 45 with 5 rounds. And I was like, dude, if shit hits the fucking fan, bro, he's got fucking 10 rounds on me, bro. So I prefer that capacity, man. I need to have that capacity. So the smallest I'll go is that of a compact, which is a 19. I don't really like going too much into like the 43X and all that other stuff. I mean, shout out to you. You want to do 56, 365? Just carry extra mags, man. That's all I'm going to say. Cool.
I agree. I don't like the micro compacts or really subcompacts.
Yeah.
I think compact is where it's at personally.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I do need to have fucking more firepower, bro. So more rounds, the better. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
All right, cool.
Let's do it.
Cool. Let's go over to BTC. Let's see which way BTC is going, man. Look at this. Boogie, do you hold your Glock sideways? Believe it or not, believe it or not, man, there is a way of shooting your firearm like this. Not like that, but like this because of the skeletal structure on the body, bro. If you're doing
What's it? Center axis reload, I think, is like a school of that, where they like focus on this, like, because it's a fairly strong biomechanical position.
Yes,
so, yeah,
the skeletal structure is great, especially when you're holding out your firearm like that. Not like this. But
like if you're just to reach straight up and like want to shake someone's hand, basically, right? Like your default angle you come in at, because I teach that when I coach for archery.
Really?
Like very similar. It's like you don't really want to do this. Let's see. You don't really want to do this holding a bow. You kind of want to do this and learn to rotate your elbow.
Yeah.
That way you can get string clearance through here. But yeah, it's like very similar. It's like this is the angle.
What was that Hunger Games, bro? I saw a chick pulling on the fucking and she had her nose right in front of it, bro. And
yeah. So actually, here's the thing. My understanding is from like reading about archery in films and things like that, it's very difficult to do archery in films, or it used to be, who knows, with like all CGI and AI and all these things imminently, because a lot of times the actor is going to pull an ultra lightweight bow, so it just looks kind of weird. And number two is they generally can't fire projectiles because there's generally no really safe way to shoot a projectile like a tube. It's a tube, right? Like, and so like roll up a magazine or a newspaper into a cylinder and just like down stab it into your leg, right? Like not super hard, right? But it's going to be sturdy. Like a cylinder is a very strong shape. So it's very difficult to shoot basically like even ultralight floppy arrows safely.
And Twinkie, I gotta train with you sometime. We gotta do a little bit of cross training, man.
Oh yeah,
we gotta do a little bit of. I mean, once we're financially free and fucking pulse chain pumps, I'm saying.
Yeah. Better off, like Sonic or like, hey man, I ain't mad. Whatever works, most effective one available. We will gladly take it.
Yeah, I concur, man. I concur, bro. Dude, we got a shitload of comments, man. Shout out to BLX for being in the chat, man.
Hey, BLX, good to see you, man.
Ecliph.
Canting the gun.
Canting the gun, man. Yeah. Do I Israeli carry? Twinkie, do you ever heard of Israeli carry?
Is that where
the mag... you don't taper around?
It's not chambered, yeah.
Yeah, no. I run around the chamber, bro. Definitely love running around the chamber. All right, moving forward to be the BTC chart, because I know you guys want to look at the pretty candles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why hasn't my bag pumped? When are we going to $1 million?
Give it some time, man. I was Raw Paul, bro. Earlier today. Here we go. This is Bitcoin on the daily. Let's take off our ugly faces off this chart, Twinkie. Now, going to the other end of this chart where things don't look too fucking ugly. As stated last time, it seems that we have finished our 60-day cycle here at day 46. But as mentioned before, man, last time we had, well, I'm counting it this way, and I think Charlie is too. I don't know if he's changed it. Last time we had a 71, prior to that, a 76, then an 84 and a 70, man. I'm assuming, and I'm hoping that this fucking cycle end is over. We don't continue dumping to the downside. There's a pretty good chance we're going to get a rate cut come fucking the 29th of this month, which is a couple days away. You know what I'm saying? So usually when that happens, we will get a little bit of a dump. That's usually what I've seen, bro, consistently. I'm expecting for us to pump now. Now, my gut told me last time that we would probably dive in here, bro, into the 50-week moving average, Twinkie. And if I put that moving average up and I put it on the weekly really fast, I was expecting for us to come down here a little bit to about 102.503, at least test that area, and then wick down here into the fair value gap area. That's what I was expecting. And that's still within the realm of possibilities. But it seems that we've started a new cycle. I cannot confirm that yet. I would probably say yes once we cross this area of about 115, 276. Let's check out freaking what it looks like on the weekly before we do that. Now, Bill Williams alligator. For you monkeys that have been on my channel for a while, you know that the way the alligator's trending is likely where the market's probably heading. You can see that the alligator's momentum wants to flip up, and our awesome oscillator as well wants to go in the opposite direction. Of course, once we cross the zero line, we should start pumping up. Being redundant and what we talked about last time, this cycle dip, if this was the end of the cycle, you're talking about fucking 18%, bro. That's what we ended up dumping. That was pretty damn painful. On average, we do about 10 to fucking 15, give or take. You know what I'm saying? So let's go over to the weekly chart, monkeys. You know what? Let me check out the Bollinger Bands. See what the Bollinger Bands say before we go over the weekly charts. Let's see the BB. Now, according to this, the first line that we do have here, which would be the first standard deviation, also is in the same area of that 50-week moving average if we were to put this on the weekly, bro. So that makes sense. And you can see that we're meeting up with this 20-period resistance point from the middle of the Bollinger Band, and that's what's causing us a little bit of stress and what we're trying to fucking compromise. Now, going back to the EMA ribbon that I used to use and I'm bringing back today, you can see that we're still fanning out a little bit, and we have the 200-week moving average here at the range of about 108. And I think that would be a good area to hold up support. But here on the daily, we do need to compromise this EMA ribbon. It is fanning out, which indicates we may get volatility. And this is indicating that we could get volatility to the downside. But let's see what it has to say on the weekly, monkeys. Do you want to add anything to this, Twinksters?
If you like slightly zoom out, thanks. Right. Yeah. Hold it right there. So you could see those different moving averages as far as their convergence, but can you toggle that EMA ribbon off for a split second?
Sure, we'll do.
Thank you, sir. If you look at the chart as a whole, right, like right around this 111 region, and you trace Boogie's horizontal red line, that's just the default red line or the default line you can get in TradingView. If the candle's red, it'll be red. And if the candle's green, it'll be green. But you can see, looking back over time, there's a fair amount of interactivity with, roughly speaking, this level. So very likely there's a fair amount of volume. People have had assorted buy-sell orders set up, pre-programmed. Other folks are going to be thinking, hey, maybe I got in on the upper side of this, and hey, I want to cut some losses, and I'm going to sell out now. Or people are buying up. This is why you're seeing it kind of play around these levels. You got a bunch of buyers and sellers generally stepping in.
Yeah. Trump's been pretty bullish, man. I know there's been a lot of news with crypto, bro, and the recent fucking news conferences he's had. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it.
He had one the other day where he was talking to some reporter. I'll have to dig it up later. I don't have it queued up, but I know I saw it was he was talking to some reporter. He's like, you know nothing about crypto. You know nothing about nothing. You are fake news.
Yeah, that's it right there, bro. The usual, bro. The usual. Dude, that would have been outrageous back in the day, Twinkie. Not so much now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Boogie, your chart's looking a little bit different compared to what some of us are maybe used to looking at. Yeah, like a lot of us are a lot more used to looking at candles. So what were you looking at right there?
All right. of course, I'm looking at the bars, monkeys, because I'm using Bill Williams' method. Now, this is on the weekly chart. Bill Williams' alligator is indicating that we want to start oscillating sideways. That's what it's saying. Here on the fucking awesome oscillator, I've got 2 red candles on the weekly, which probably means we'll get another red candle. I'm hoping we do flip back up to the upside, man. So this can be up October again for the last 5 days of the week, no, the last 5 days of the month, last 6 days of the month. But going back to my regular candle chart and looking at this, I was looking at the Elliott waves in this, man. Now, of course, this is on the weekly, monkeys, and we were down here. We came up here, came back down this way. That's when we hit 23,000, and then we climbed all the way up over here for the third Elliott wave. We came down, and now it seems that we're finishing up the 5th portion of the Elliott wave. And I know, Twinkie, you have a different count, and if you're willing to talk about it, that'd be cool, man. But I don't know if you got all your data ready.
Yeah. I don't have that queued up.
Cool.
But I'll say, like, I am open to the ideas of alternative counts.
Yes, of course.
And a lot of times the challenge ends up being is the count doesn't make sense until you have a little bit of history behind it. And so I'm not saying like definitively we're in wave 5 or 3 or 1. I am saying, well, for this cycle, I would say this whole current cycle is the 5th wave of the last cycle. And there's some other arguments too that were like on a 5 of 5 of 5 type situation on a longer 16 or potentially 20-year cycle. We'll see how it plays out.
I'm hoping your count is right, Twinkie, and my count is wrong, man. I'm saying,
let me keep it simple. I think Trump wants to have, and the administration, they're going to want everything super cooking into midterms. We've got a bunch of debt that needs to be refinanced. I think we know we've got rate cuts on the horizon. Elements of the Treasury are effectively looking like quantitative tightening, and the Fed, so really the Fed, I should say, looking at ending quantitative tightening. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to flip to easing, but they're gonna start buying some stuff up like more openly and not through some of the stealth channels. And in conjunction with rate cuts, debt to be refinanced, Trump administration. All right, it's been interesting watching people lose their minds over the East Wing. For those who haven't been following the White House saga, but
they're making a fucking carport, bro. So when people get there, they don't get rained on, bro. Just oh my gosh, bro, fuck.
Aside from that, it's I think it's something like Trump's a builder. Like he's a builder. He'll modify things. He'll build things. So I think
he'll get badass pricing on it too, bro. The dude knows how to negotiate. I'm saying,
well, like America, go build, right? Yeah, he's like demonstrating, hey, go build. That's how I'm interpreting aspects of this, and it may not be that direct or overt, but I strongly believe he knows he is somewhat subliminally sending that message.
Yeah, man, dude, and the dude's great. He's a fucking real estate mogul. He gets a hard on for fucking like Twinkie. You could tell that I get a fucking hard on, bro, talking about guns and suppressors and all this other shit and fragrances and all this other stuff, bro. That's the way he feels about building shit. The dude is a builder at heart, bro. Yep. And then he's been part of the most vicious fucking real estate market in the world, fucking New York, bro. I'm saying.
Yeah. He knows how to get stuff done. Before I lose it and forget it, I do have one thing on the Bitcoin pricing element.
Sure, you want me to bring the chart back up, Twinkie?
Yeah, just for a split second. So looking at this, Boogie and I have been exploring some different systems of looking at things, and we've got different research tools and all these other things with respect to price go up or price go down. Currently, I'm watching somewhere above 112, like that one out to like 113-ish, maybe 114-ish, and down to around 109.
So from here, let me grab my tool here, Twinkie. So what was the price again? 114?
Yeah, we'll say like 114 to like 109.
Give or take.
Give or take.
This general area right there?
Yeah, which aligns with the box you drew and kind of like some of the price action we're seeing. And why do I have those particular elements in that range? Well, periodically I'll go look at like on-chain analytics or some other things, dive through some chats. So I'm always trying to pick up a new chunk of information or a new trick or the like. And what you can do is actually, Boogie, if you can pull my screen up for a second. Shout out to the guys coming through from Crypto Mindset. We appreciate the support. I know we've had a lot of interesting conversations. Miguel and Charlie doing it again, running another very comprehensive set of courses and classes. But
Twinkie, I'll let you take charge. I'm gonna run to. I gotta let the dog out real fast.
Yeah, no problem. So what we're actually looking at over here is a liquidation heat map, and this outlines where there are different amounts of liquidity, different amounts of money that are effectively up for grabs potentially based on making incorrect calls and incorrect predictions about the future. So these are different longs and shorts that'll be sitting in the system, and people are thinking, hey, it's going to hit this price, and so that's what I'm betting, and I'm going to take some kind of leverage as part of my bet. So if the price moves certain percentages against you, then you are potentially going to get liquidated on that front, and that money will go back to Binance and flow into the system. So we see there's a bunch of liquidity sitting up here from, roughly speaking, kind of out through 114, as well as southbound down to around 109-ish. Yeah, somewhere in that 109 region, which overlaps with elements of what you were seeing earlier on Boogie's price chart. So that's part of the reason I'm kind of eyeballing that range as far as some of the overall TA you're seeing and that Boogie had pulled up on screen. I'm leaning slightly bullish based on a few momentum indicators I am looking at in the background. Let's see if I can actually pull that up.
What's up, Twinkie? You need me to pull something up?
Allegedly it'll let me change the tab. Let me make sure this works.
There you go.
You see my chart. Perfect. All right. So what I've been exploring, and you can just don't get hung up on the fact that I've got a bunch of indicators, because I've been looking at different systems and trying to figure out, how do I conceive of TA and which items and patterns make sense to me versus other things. I've been exploring more of a momentum driven system. So I know the guys teach, fundamentals on chain plus things like price, time, momentum, trend. I'm looking at more of a momentum based system. So where are people coming in, buying and selling? We've talked a little bit about things like the RSI previously, and the gentleman who came up with the RSI created actually a different number of different indicators, but they're generally in the momentum driven camp on this front. So currently this is what they call the parabolic SAR, and I don't remember what the acronym stands for at the moment. Stop and reverse. I think it's stop and reverse, showing overall, hey, look, still looking bearish, but you'll notice even though on the daily we've actually had a number of green candles, so it's indicating to me that the momentum's not there. Aside from that, if I hop down to something like the RSI, I see that the RSI has punched through its moving average, but it looks like it might be flattening out or curling over a little bit. MACD looking slightly bullish. DMI, this is another one of the indicators created by, again, the guy who created the RSI and the SAR. This generally shows, you can look at positive movement, I'll say bullish movement versus bearish movement, and overall strength of trend. So I'm looking for, basically for me, I want to see blue punch through orange, heading upward. The steeper, the better, generally speaking, as far as a pump. And I want to see red kind of hold above 20, ideally 25 or higher. Red being the strength of the current trend, and generally you can think of blue as bullish, orange as bearish. Boogie and I have had a number of conversations about the awesome oscillator, so I've been studying it a bit more, trying to get a better handle on it, and exploring stochastic RSI, but I wouldn't say that's in my current toolkit. One of the other things too is here's a quick pro trading view tip. When you save your chart and your indicator stack, think of this as a template you can overlay. This is a super useful productivity hack for those who aren't using TradingView a little more routinely. Over here in, what is this, bookmarks, watch list, you can set up all your favorite tokens, save this. Basically, you're going to apply the template to whichever token you want. So maybe I want to hop over to Total 3 for a second. It's going to keep my stack set up, and I just change the underlying ticker. So it's definitely, let's say, much faster to get through a whole lot of charts.
That's a cool tool to have, Twinkie.
Yeah. So little pro tip on that one. But yeah, so as far as the
Well, it looks like we lost Twinkie. He may have. Oh shit, Twinkie! I think I lost you, man. Test. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we lost Twinkie. He should be hopping back on the next couple seconds. Well, all right, there he is. Twinkie, are you there?
Check.
Yeah, I got you, man. I lost you there for a second.
Click the wrong window. Anyway, rookie mistake on that one. It's a great way to get through that really fast. So we were talking about liquidation heat maps and like, hey, North Korea's best Korea. We're talking about liquidation heat maps, which is why I was looking at kind of that 109 and 114 bracket. So I wouldn't be surprised to potentially see a drop, or bounce, some sort of zigzag pattern running through that just for that liquidity to get snapped up.
Yeah, I mean, the more data we have, the better, Twinkie. I mean, between fucking my Bill Williams methods, fair value gaps, smart money concepts, the way you like to read the chart, utilizing that SARS fucking indicator, bro. And then what was the last one, Twinkie, that from the Bollinger guy that he created?
DMI. That one's been really interesting to me. And, and part of my experimentation with it is like, all right, I try to throw out things I already know, and I do try to adhere a little bit to like exclusively to that system. And then just to see, all right, if I'm playing by these rules, this is what I would have done. Is this working better for me or not? And I'm doing it all on paper. So basically like running a paper separate portfolio just to see how it would do.
Yeah. Today, Twinkie, who was it? I think it was shout out to fucking VLX, man. He was texting me. Well, I was paper trading, bro. I was fucking around with the fucking charts and shit like that, man. He sends me a text and he says, "Hey, man, how's that computer working?" I'm like, dude, I showed him a whole fucking video on it, dude. It is a killer setup, Twinkie. This setup, you got me, man. Well, you didn't pay for it. You gave me the parts list, and I fucking
yeah. It was my Lego design.
Yeah, man. You zipper heads can really see in the fourth dimension, bro.
Sometimes. Sometimes. That's like after 12 grams of
chat. Sometimes Twinkie texts me some shit. He texts me some shit, and I'm like, dude, speak to me in English without your Asian capabilities, bro, because you motherfuckers speak in the fourth dimension, dude. You're like operating outside space and time, bro.
I'm trying, I'm trying. I'm not trying to be deliberately difficult here, but I'm trying to see. I don't know, man. Isn't that part of the game, right? You try to see the future as best you can.
Yeah, man. Fucking my homie, of course, my homie's where I reside. There's a lot of Hispanics, bro. It was mostly Hispanics, and I gave him the setup. My homie looked at it, and he looked at your instruction. He goes, "Fuck, I'm gonna start using this," and that's because he's a big time IT guy, bro. He used to be an IT guy for el Gobierno Federal de Mexico, bro. Like the federal government.
Yeah.
The federal government from Mexico would use his ass, bro. And he was like, dude, wow, man. Esos asiáticos piensan en otra manera. Yeah, that's what he was saying. You guys think in a different dimension, Twinkie.
I don't know, man. My mom took Tylenol when she was pregnant. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. All right, going back to my chart, Twinkie. I want to go back.
Yeah. Okay, like I'm good on BTC. Whatever you wanted. If you want to run through more, talk through something else.
Yeah. I wanted to finish up my chart because I hadn't finished my explanation for the weekly. Here we go. So going back to the weekly chart, monkeys. This is my chart on the weekly. Let's get our ugly faces off here, man. Now, again, we're within a fair value gap here, monkeys. And for you guys that follow me, especially some of you cats that are into fucking smart money concepts, these are areas of liquidity. Now, of course, this block indicates that there is a shitload of liquidity. I didn't want to draw another block in here because it would be a little bit too convoluted, but there's another one in there. Hence why we're bouncing around this area so much, because there's a shitload of liquidity. Now, mind you, we could come down here to about 100,000 or down to 97. What I was telling you monkeys earlier, if I put up the 50-week moving average, let me see if I can bring my chart down a little bit, Twinkie, so you cats can see it a little bit. Oh, let me see. Where's that moving average at? Simple moving average. Let me edit this. Put it on 50. And let me change the style to yellow. No. There you go. Change this to yellow. So put it on the weekly. Here you go. Now, again, this is the area that I was expecting us to come down to and retest Of course, that could happen, monkeys. We could come down here. We can have a candle body down here, and the wick of the candle can come down here to pick up liquidity, and then it picks up that fuel and runs to the upside. But right now, it seems like we're oscillating sideways. Now, one of the things that I wanted to emphasize about this chart is, of course, you see that we're at the end of 5 of our Elliott wave cycle. But I think we got farther room to go, because if you look at where we're at within this Elliott wave number 5, we've only achieved cycle 1 and 2, and we're still halfway to 3. And remember, 3 is supposed to be the most parabolic one from all the other ones, and we don't know where that could be at. It could be a lot higher, and this kind of coincides with what a lot of the Moon Gang saying, Miguel and Charlie, and with yourself, Twinkie, that we're probably going to run into 2026. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see a number of folks growing, or the number growing, calling for that, which I'm like, cool. But on the other hand, I'm like, all right, if that starts to be consensus, should you really, counterplay that?
Now, with that stated, of course, I'm looking here at the Awesome Oscillator. The third fucking tip, or the third point at the top of the fucking Elliott wave, is usually when you'll get the highest point on the Awesome Oscillator, and there's always divergence to the downside for Elliott wave number 5. Now, in order for this to be wrong, we would need to get another Awesome Oscillator, another setup on the Awesome Oscillator indicator where it would be higher than this. So it would have to be way, 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 way higher. So in other words, let me see if I can pull this up. So in other words, this little mountain here there has to be a bigger mountain in order for us to be at a higher level. Now, of course, Twinkie had mentioned that we might end up going higher, and you believe that we're actually on 2. That we're currently traveling up on 3. So if that was the case, bro, dude, we got a long ways to go up, man. 3 would be somewhere over here, bro, and 4 would be like down here, and then 5 would be like somewhere up here. Of course, and not to take this into account. Twinkie, now, I know we haven't talked about this in a while. In your guesstimation, man, if your theory is correct, where do you think Bitcoin would go at the end of the cycle?
Good question. If it plays out that way, where effectively we've just got way more runway in front of us.
Yeah. A lot more runway in front of us.
Over 200,000? 240, 250?
Yeah, Richard was calling what, 260 or 230? I think it was
240, 250. And I'm just going to go with Richard sees something. He probably sees something I don't. Or I don't know. I haven't looked that deep into it. What I was thinking more immediately was 150 something thousand.
Yeah, in the immediate time. In the immediate time frame.
Yeah, like before end of year, early next year, 150,000.
Give or take. I mean, I was listening to that one Asian guy that Miguel likes. That, what's his name, bro?
Tom Lee.
Tom Lee, yeah, and he was saying that he could easily see fucking Bitcoin going to 180 by the end of the year, bro. Easily.
I believe it. So one of the things I like to look at, and look, I'm going to be right. I'm going to be wrong. Nobody sees the future perfectly, as far as I know. When I think about these things, I would look at it and go, okay, 156,000. What's it going to take to get there? Like, let's assume that any number is doable. The question then becomes how? How does it get there? And so everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin to $1 million. Yeah. Is that necessarily a good thing? It's a number. I guess if you have a Bitcoin, yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah.
But it's probably more, reflective of the fact that the dollar just becomes increasingly worthless.
Yeah. That means the dollar's gone. Well, it's great for us.
Yeah.
We have to go to a citadel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit happens. We have to go to a citadel, Twinkie. That shit fucking happens, bro. And then people are gonna be fucking mad, bro. Really fucking mad, really angry. And speaking of people being angry, you heard about the EBT meltdowns going on right now, right?
Yes.
Walmart and other grocery stores, major grocery stores, have stated that come November 1st, they're not going to open their doors. You can place your order online, or you can walk up to the front of the door, place your order there, and they'll come bring you your groceries, bro. because they're not going to take a loss like that. That's what happens, man. Fucking dude.
Yeah. Like I've seen it in some of the places I've lived where everything just gets, increasingly locked up, and then eventually the stores leave.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, it's just not worth it anymore.
Now, Twiggy, I know they got the CMC coming up in about 30 minutes, give or take, bro.
Yeah, whenever it shows up. Shout out to Nima. Nima, we got to resume that conversation soon.
Yeah, let's break 124K.
So Nima's been, I'll say like, Nima, let me know if I'm overstating your position on some of these things. I'd say Nima's been very vocal about charting Bitcoin dominance. And based on my conversation with him the other day, he is, he's got a system that works well for him.
Cool, man.
So I want to pick his brain a little more and understand more, and it's like how he's applying it and using it.
Speaking of Bitcoin dominance, Twinkie, check this out. And this is as per Mags. Currently, this is where we're at. Of course, this is super white screen, bro, so you really can't see my cursor too well. But this is where we're at. Of course, he's making this guesstimation that we're about to fucking dump into this area at about 44.50, the worst for BTC dominance. Of course, when you get above that, and he says altcoin season is coming. He posted that earlier today, way earlier today. You know what I'm saying? He's got a very bearish prediction on Solana though. Mags, I didn't have time to research it today, so hence why I'm not showing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I do have a separate quick chart that I've had saved for a while on BTC dominance. So I'll say Nima follows it a lot more closely than I do. I know I've shown this a handful of times. So we had overall a fairly similar setup in 21, except 21 was basically like, nuked off a cliff. Looks like already off rip. We kind of got a little bit more bounce going on here, but we'll see how it plays out. You had this bearish engulfing candle bouncing off this longer term trend line of potential resistance, and then it was generally down to this lower trend line. We also got a similar setup where it was an overall bearish pattern in the MACD on the monthly time frame.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had an altcoin run yet, Twinkie. I mean, kind of sort of with Solana a little bit with the memes, but not so much with the other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's going to be different this time. There's just way more projects on the market.
Yeah, there is. Let's see what ends up happening with that shit, man. Let's go over to fucking Sui, bro. See what Sui entails here, man. Fuck.
Yeah, and then for, let's say, some of the folks rolling through, I know some folks are passing through from crypto mindset course. Raul Paul has been, let's say, one of the he and his team over there have been doing a really good job, I think, of overall foreseeing overall macro conditions, and they've talked a lot about the overall conditions and what they think is going to happen, and they've been pretty accurate so far this cycle.
I'm neutral on Raul Paul, man, because of last cycle, bro. I'm neutral on him. I'm not saying that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Of course, the dude's got cash, bro. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cash, bro. But dude, I just look, man, when I listen to you, bro, and you're always fucking bullish all the time, like, dude, give me some bearish news, bro. Because of course, market reflects that sometime. But I'm rather neutral on him. I want him to be right.
Sure.
He's extremely, extremely bullish, bro. I think last cycle he was calling for ETH to go to 36.
Yeah, which was crazy talk.
But then again, Sam Bankman-Fried did fuck everything up. And speaking of Sam Bankman-Fried, CZ got that pardon, son.
Yeah. We'll see if SBF gets some sort of early release. There's been some rumors.
Yeah, man. His probably Hebrew buddies are probably like, "Hey, dog, Trump, hook it up, man. Hook it up, bro." Then.
I had a conversation with somebody the other night, and this person was like, a lot more people are noticing things.
Yeah, they are, bro.
Yep.
Going over to the Sui chart. Let's see what we got here for you cats, man. We got fucking ugly ass Sui chart for you cats. And as you can see, currently Sui is at $2.51. Dude, that fucking dip that we had, bro, with that China fucking statement fucking Trump made, ended up bringing us to the downside pretty damn strong. Now, there is some fair value gaps back here, man, that it did have from fucking May of 2025. I'd have to push them up. These are on the daily though, man. Let me see if I got any weekly fair value gaps, bro, because those are the ones that really count. Let's see if I got any weekly ones. No, these are all daily fair value. Well, no, there is a weekly one, bro, and we're currently in it. As a matter of fact, we're currently in this big ass fair value gap right now, and there is some ones that are lower, but those are on the daily though. The ones that I am looking at are for the weekly ones. The next weekly one is down here. And that would be at about, dude, that would be a ball kicker, bro. We come back down to $1.50, dog. $1.50 to $1.15. I'm hoping we don't. But on the daily so far, it seems that it's been consistent, though, with the 60-day cycle, 20-day cycles. And it seems currently we're at about day numero 16, which means we should be approaching the end of this SUI cycle, bro. Which, of course, is awesome because then we can reset to the upside. Boogie, is right now a good time to get SUI? I would say yes. I concur with that idea. You know what I'm saying? Because of the cycle that we're in right now, I think it's at a good time to get to DCA into SUI. I am definitely bullish on SUI.
Okay, so Boogie, real quick, you mentioned DCA. So for some of the newer folks, that means don't throw your whole bag in. You want to take some portion of that and allocate that and start loading that into the market.
Absolutely. That means that, for example, if you've got $1,000, you can do 200 right now or 300 right now, depending on how you like to break it down. You want to break it down and say you got $900. You want to break it down in 3 pieces. You can do 300 right now to get rid of your FOMO, which is great, by the way. Let me show my ugly face for the statement, which is great, by the way, because when I was buying into GigaChad and GigaChad was at 13 million market cap or 14 million market cap, I intended to drop 4 chunks of cash into it, man. And I was like, dude, it's going to dip more. Solana's dipping more. And I threw in 1 chunk and I was like, this is just to get rid of my FOMO. After I threw that chunk, it escaped my hands, bro. And if I had not thrown that chunk in there, Twinkie, we wouldn't have made part of that bank that we were talking about. You know what I'm saying? So hence why you DCA in pieces, dollar cost averaging. You throw chunks in pieces. So you got $1,000, you can break it down in multiples of 250 4 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Just in case, like, hey, if it dipped, you can potentially go heavier. If it runs up, you might sit there and say, hey, I no longer think this is as good of a value proposition, so I'm not going to load any cash in. I'm going to keep my cash on the side and look for another play.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. So now why am I saying is right now a good time to DCA? Because usually this runs on cycles, man. And what I mean by that is we're on day 16 of its cycle, which means it goes from low to low. This was the low down here that we got on Trump's day when he made that China comment. And then we're probably going to have another dip to the downside. Probably not lower than this, but another dip to the downside. And then we can start a new cycle to the upside if the next cycle is going to be bullish. Right now is not a bad time to DCA, in my opinion, bro. I think right now would be a good time to get some SUI if you guys need some SUI. My bags are packed for the most part on SUI, but this is nevertheless a good time to get in. I think I do have SUI set up here on the weekly, which I do want to show you guys too.
So let's see here. Boogie, we lost your chart if you're flipping through something.
Yes, I was going to bring up a new one.
There's that crazy wick that was a few weeks back. I don't recall if that was liquidations or something else, but it is a wild looking wick. It was like, what, early October?
Early October. You talking about down here? No. Let's see.
Yeah, that one. I think that's on the. Is that it right there? Yeah. What's
that is? Yeah, that's the one Trump made. Trump when he made that China comment on this one right here.
So you had an opportunity to buy in, over there. So obviously prices are, currently not as let's say value oriented on that one, but it is, I think, like number 20 to 23, 20 to 25 by market cap currently. So it's sitting in a really nice position, I think, to make further climbs overall from a mass psychology perspective.
Right now it's at 23. You said market cap?
Yeah, I think like top. Yeah, I believe it's high 20s right now.
So yeah. One thing I did want to point out to you cats, man, check this out, man. Let's go back to the daily here. And you can see that the Bill Williams allocator, we're kind of finishing up this parallel market. For you monkeys that don't know, whenever you see the Bill Williams alligator running down and you can see the market kind of like matching it, you can see that we're about to make that green line fucking contact point, which usually indicates that we're about to finish the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Putting up my bars and I know you monkeys don't know exactly what you're watching here, but let me explain this to you. This is okay. This is not a bullish divergent candle, but it is a fractal. So we are approaching the end, and we might start turning to the upside. Awesome oscillators also indicating that we're about to flip bullish. Of course, we have to cross that negative line in order to start running back to the upside. Now, putting it on the weekly here, these two giant blocks are fair value gaps on the weekly, hence why it says weekly right here. But mind you, we're kind of running a little bit on a parallel market right here, man, with the alligator. And on the weekly, we're still kind of bearish. So we may have a couple more days of being bearish before we turn around. EMA ribbon. Let's see what resistance we see with the EMA ribbon. There's a Twinkie EMA. Well, the EMA ribbon is still somewhat bullish, and we're not getting a lot of fanning, which means we're not going to get a lot of volatility on the weekly. But it is starting to close up, and we could end up freaking pumping to the upside.
So it'll be an interesting few weeks ahead of us as we've got a number of different pieces of information coming up this week for at least those of us here in the U.S. Again, Boogie mentioned it earlier. We've got the federal interest rate decision coming up on a handful of on that particular topic, and they'll have some sort of talk surrounding it. I believe they're going to have early or initial information on GDP growth, and I think they're going to have some other information relative to inflation and spending. So big week on, I think, U.S. macro Fed rate news, and I'll be watching that one a lot this week.
Let me see if I got my FOMC watch tool here, Twinkie. I don't think I have it up.
I got it.
But there's a pretty... can you look at December?
Yeah, so...
See what December says, bro.
Let me pull that up. So there's a few different ways of looking at this, and I'll throw the link here in chat, and people can take a look at it. You can get the, let's say, current probability for Fed rate meeting, and that's for the imminent upcoming meeting, what people think is going to happen. People are expecting a rate cut on this. If you want to see what people are thinking for the future, you can go down here to probabilities. You'll get this nifty table, and it'll let you know where the majority are weighing in. So currently, early predictions are looking like 2 rate cuts this year.
So boom, dog. How's this? Can you go to the other, go back to that other chart you were showing us, Twinkie, and forward it to December?
This one?
Yeah. Do you have it on December right now?
Stand by. Let's see here. There's the December one.
91% chance.
Yes.
Okay. So it looks pretty good, man. We're probably gonna get 3 rate cuts. Now, mind you, monkeys, be advised. Bill Williams would always advise that when it comes to FOMC meetings and shit like that, stay out of the fucking market if you like to trade, man. Fuck that shit. Don't be dealing with that, man, because it's too unpredictable. For the most part, I have noticed that the market dumps whenever we have the fucking FOMC. Every single time. It pumps up towards it, and then we end up dumping. So that may be a good DCA opportunity for you cats as well.
Yeah. If anyone's hanging around and let's say you're in a position to watch charts or whatever, just watch the chart like on the 1 minute, 15 minute or whatever, and during the conference. And like you can watch, and it's like, oh, this is where Jerome Powell says good afternoon. Like
yeah, and then
you can see it. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. All right, let's move forward to the last one of the day. Let's go to Pulse Chain, man.
Richard's been really active on Twitter.
Yeah, Twinkie, he's been really active, man. I've noticed that the community within Pulse Chain have gotten a lot more bullish as well, man.
Yeah, like their leader is making his presence known.
Yeah, we just got to make sure Richard doesn't get into cuffs, bro. He cannot get handcuffed, bro.
That's it.
That would be a kick in the fucking balls, bro. I'm saying, talk about, because he's had a fucking horrible streak of bad luck, bro. I'm saying,
it happens to all of us, right? But he didn't quit. I know a lot of us would like to see him stream. I'm going to assume he has reasons for not yet streaming.
You got to stay ninja, bro. He's got to stay ninja, bro. You know what I'm saying, and especially if you like to go out and stuff like that, Richard can't be indoors all day, bro. You know what I'm saying,
yeah. And like we were talking about, off stream, there are methods of finding people for some of these things. Like, yeah. So I totally kind of get it in certain respects. Like the less visual information you show, the better.
And people are like, dude, no, just you can just show up in the black screen continuously, bro. You can't. No, bro. You can't. You can't, bro. They will find you. They will fucking find you. The way you have your hair, the way you have your fucking beard, bro. If you have a beard or not, and you go out in town, bro, they're gonna recognize you, bro. They recognize you, and if they got people looking for you, especially when you owe money, bro, to the government, or they think that you owe them money, bro, they will come fucking look for you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they'll put his ass in cuffs, bro. I'm guessing he's probably in Eastern Europe, and I'm assuming he's probably in Russia, bro.
Or someplace, right? But yeah, we made an example of notorious crypto scammer Richard Hart, right? Like they would love to have that headline and that feather in their cap.
Yeah, and I agree with Richard, man. Dude, we need to. I mean, the Hexicans, man, dude. We can't be whining like this all the time, bro. Can't be, dude. The dude has done fucking nothing but good for crypto, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like even if he didn't play everything perfectly, I haven't. Quite the opposite, in fact, right? He called out all the scammers.
Yep, exactly. And dude, he was right. He'll probably call the top. What was he good at? He was good at calling the top. He'll probably call the top again, bro. And dude, people like him, bro, have access to really good data, man. I'm saying, Tricky.
Yeah, they have resources.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Their intel's second to none. You know what I mean? All right, moving on to Richard's coin here. And I'm covering today fucking pulse chain monkeys because last time we did Hex. Last time I went live. So what are we looking at here, man? This is the Hex chart with the Bill Williams indicator here. Let me put on my fucking my doggone freaking bars. But not thin bars. Okay, here we go. Where are we at right now, man? From its initial pump, man, you could see that pulse chain, we went to the upside here on our first portion of Elliott wave, came back down, shot up to 3, came down to 4, came up to 5, and then we ended up coming down for a whole A wave right here. We went up here to the B wave, and boom, we crashed down here to the C wave, and that's what it seems like it's at right now. This is the end of the C wave. If you monkeys ever seen anybody do Elliott waves, there's always an ABC, and I'm hoping that this is the end of the C wave, because if not, we'll come back down lower. You know what I'm saying? But I am assuming this should be, or we are approaching the end of the C wave. This is on the weekly, though. We need to get close to that green line on the Bill Williams alligator, which is a green line touch, and that usually indicates we'll end up reversing to the top side. Bill Williams awesome oscillator still indicating that we're still heading to the downside a little bit. Now, mind you, let's go over here. One of the things that I did notice here, Twinkie, is we're getting a 1-1 fractal. Let me see if I can grab my drawing tool here so I explain it to you, monkeys. Where's my drawing tool? My brush. Here it is. Now, when you look at fractals, if you get a line here and then a line here, that is what you call a 1-1. Now, if you get a line, any lines here in the middle, that would be considered a 2-2. And if you get a line down here and a line down here, that is a 3-3. So if you end up getting one to the top side where the market opened, that is a 1, and you get one to the downside, that's a 1-3. Whenever you get something called a 1-1, that tends to be very bullish. And then what I like about it is that we're getting it on the weekly. Going to the daily, let's see what I'm liking about the daily. We've already made contact with that green line. So I'm hoping that we start pumping to the top side. We did get this fractal down here to the bottom. And it seems that we're done with our fucking C wave when we came down this way. And we're beginning the other portions of Elliott wave number 1 so we can start running to the upside. Now, I don't have fair value gaps for you, monkeys. Let me see if I can find some on the weekly so to see exactly where the fucking market's at. And I don't see a lot of fair value gaps here, Twinkie, at all. Well, maybe one here. I see that fair value gap right there. That's the only one I see here on the weekly. And seeing that, we'll probably go up to that to start picking up liquidity and continue dumping or continue pumping. Let's see which way the market takes us, man. But it seems that we're done with our first portion of the ABC wave, and we're currently at the beginning of 0. We might be coming up here. This is 1. We're finishing up 2, and then we can start coming up over here to 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I can see that count. I think that's a currently, let's say, justifiable count.
You know what I'm saying? That would make sense. Because this would assume, I would assume, where the fuck is my brush tool again, dude? I hate it when this happens. There it is. I'm assuming this is the end of the C wave, and we're currently at the beginning of the first portions of the Elliott wave, which is awesome, bro. And I'm hoping we fucking Richard Hart makes a shitload of millionaires so he can flaunt on the assholes who are talking a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So don't we all? Let's see here. I got a couple of quick things. So we've mentioned Richard's been very active. And so certainly the community in turn has stepped up their game as well. So we'll see how this plays out. This is from this particular account. You see it's like Jason AI Williams. And okay, it's Twitter. They can call themselves whatever they want. We can all fake images and whatever else. Claiming, hey, he's bridging it all over to Pulse Chain, fuck Solana, 31 mil. We'll call it like 31.75 mil and some change on that front. Of course, you got all the Hex Pulse Chain, Richard Hart fans chiming in on the thread.
And he's throwing it all over via Tornado Cash, right?
Yeah, a lot of funds have, let's say, wound up in Tornado Cash as far as we can see. So, okay, who else is potentially Jason AI Williams? Well, Homeboy's got 275,000 followers. And okay, let's assume they're that's a fairly legit count. Richard Hart's got about 354,000 and some change followers.
Yeah.
So this dude also wrote, what is it? Bitcoin, hard money you can't fuck with. So he's published author on the topic of Bitcoin. Yeah. So, regardless, he's got outreach saying, hey, I'm putting some cash into the system. More idealistically, he's got big bucks himself. He can roll into the system.
Yeah. This could be the turning point, bro. Finally, dude. Finally, dude. This could be the fucking turning point. And the awesome thing about it, we got rid of the guy from BankX already.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to bigger and better things. Just need to hang in there, right? Like, don't quit. Don't get zeroed out. Don't quit.
I concur 110%. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you monkeys follow my homie Twinkie. I've got all his deets here at the bottom. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. I don't think I put up your Instagram there, Twinkie. I don't think you got an Instagram.
I do. I don't post much. I think.
Yeah.
Linktree, Telegram. Telegram, and Twitter, X. Those are the places to best get a hold of me.
Yeah. So make sure you monkeys like this video. Make sure you monkeys subscribe to the channel. We will be back here next freaking week. I know you monkeys got to fucking go over there to the crypto mindset course. I think we're approaching the end before they start doing the take profits. Make sure you guys get that data, man. Say what's up to Miguel and Charlie for me. I'll be over there as well, listening to what they have to say. And that much pretty much covers it, Twinkie. You want to add anything, Twingsters?
Nah, good to be back.
All right, cool, man. I'll catch you monkeys on the flip side.